Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us this evening on Houdini Hangout. My name's Peter. I host the stream, and it's nice to have you all here today, this evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Thanks for joining us here on the stream. Yeah, so what are we going to be doing tonight? Oh, hold on a second. I'm not seeing my chat link here. Hold on a second. I'm doing great. I think I saw someone ask, how am I doing? I'm doing fine. But for some reason, the chat is not going through my sorry, just trying to find this here. I saw the chat come up, but I don't understand why I'm not seeing it here. Hold on, sorry. Hello everyone. I'm not sure what the deal is here. Oh, there's Zach. Hello, Zach. How's it going? So interesting. Okay. For some reason, I gotta love technology. For some reason, it's not going to Discord for me right now. So that's okay. Whatever. I have to like see myself here. Okay. Let's just stop that. Hello. Hello, procedural nodes. Hello, Camille. Kamal. Welcome. 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 Yeah, anyways, like I said, not 100% sure what's going on there or why I can't see some chats, but let me just double check and make sure everything is going well here. Yes, that is my Discord server. Huh, weird. Okay, well, anyways, I guess I'm just going to have to change up how I'm used to seeing this tonight, which is fine. So yeah, unfortunately, no Discord chat tonight, if anybody was using that in the past, which it looks like some people actually have recently. So that's kind of cool. But anyways, with that in mind, if you'd like to join the Discord server, you can always go to HoudiniHangout.com. You can find a link there to join the server for free. And yeah, it's just a spot where a lot of people have asked questions and get help on different Houdini stuff that they're working on. One of many places, but hey, if you're new to the industry or to learning Houdini and you want a relatively safe space where people aren't gonna question your newbie, how much of a noob you are, you know, feel free to join up. And yeah, lots of helpful people there. Let's see here. Sorry, I just have to mute some stuff. Give me a second here. Sorry, for some reason, I've got things yelling at me, but that's okay. Okay. So what are we doing today? What are we doing tonight? My plan is to do some more Mardini stuff. Mardini's been going on for this past month, and yeah, we're at kind of the home stretch of it. So I figure I'll do one more little Mardini prompt of some type before the month comes to an end. And yeah, so that's kind of my plan here. Let me just make sure that I'm getting any Twitch chats that might be coming through here. So give me 1 second. I'm also going to pull that up real quick here on my computer. That. Okay. I've got to pop out of that at least. So hopefully if anybody is chatting, I'll be able to notice that just in case things aren't getting properly transferred back and forth. Anyways, that is where we're at right now. So yeah, if anybody has any suggestions for for what we should tackle tonight as far as the prompt that we should do, please feel free to drop that in the chat. Also, as we're going through stuff this evening, if you're seeing me do something that you're like, oh, I think you should do it this way, or I think this is a smarter way to do it, feel free to drop that in the chat. It might not always follow what you're saying, but it's certainly great for me to have more feedback from more people. And I get stuck a lot, so it's great to have other people be able to put their 2 cents in and just be able to make something better with all of us kind of working together. So yeah, please feel free to do that. I'm certainly not, the expert in Houdini, so always happy to have more minds behind whatever it is we're working on that evening. So yeah, feel free to jump in, put in a throw a comment in the chat, and let me know if there's something I could be doing smarter or faster or better or whatever. So need that hat. Hello, welcome. Yes, I do like this hat a lot. I agree. My hair gets really bad when I wear my headphones all day, and it just gets ridiculous. And I'm like, I don't even want to deal with it. So hats have been a thing with me a lot more recently. But yes, I do like this hat. I have another hat, but I need to it's actually really cool. It's like a Nike hat, but hey, houseplant, welcome. I have this it's like a Nike I don't know, hat, but it's nice. I like it, but it's I gotta clean it or something. It's just gotten a little dirty over the months and years of having it. So okay, so with all that being said, let's take a look at what some of the prompts are here, and we'll go from there. I think I have it somewhere here. Where did I put it? Let's see. There it is. Okay. Well, let's pull this over and we can take a look. So here are the prompts that we have. The one today is dance. We could do that one, certainly. I'm game to try if we want. There's lots of other stuff too. Yeah, neon, stylized food. The last one we did was plant or organic kind of. So we won't do that this time, but there's lots of cool stuff. I mean, lots of cool prompts, and I'm not doing the actual challenge, so I can do any of them, so if you have one that you think would be fun, drop it in the chat and, we'll give it a shot. So, is Mixamo allowed? I can't animate for my life. I don't think so. I don't think Mixamo, I mean, for an entry, I could use Mixamo tonight if I wanted to, but no, I don't think for an entry it's allowed. Yeah. No, I would say not. Yes, unfortunately. Zach has been entering Mardini and has been doing quite well. So congrats on that, Zach. That's always very fun to get recognized for stuff that you're doing. So, but there's lots of great stuff. And I've actually been one of the judges, for this Mardini, which has been fun. And, I have to say that there's yes, there's people that have won a lot of them, but there's so many that are just on the cusp of being in the top 3. I wish I could give 5 places points, or I don't know. I wish there was a way that I could add more in there, because there's some people that have been right at 3 or right at 4 a bunch of days, and I'm oh, they're so close. There's so many good entries. That's probably the biggest problem. But yeah, so if you haven't won, don't feel bad. I think the time I did it, I only got recognized on 1 out of the 30 days. So, I mean, it happens. And, I mean, granted, I'm not the greatest artist, but, I do my best. So anyways, if you have a suggestion from this over here, sorry, my hand's getting cut off. One of these, this is so hard to do because it's the other side for me. Woo. One of these great things. Please feel free to drop your suggestion in the chat, and we can go from there. I mean, I don't know, GUI. There's something about GUI that is fun for me. I don't know. That's just something. I wonder if you have any internal jokes about Jan winning almost every day. Yeah, I mean, his stuff has been really good. It's tough, you know. It's like, you know, if someone's very talented, they're talented. You know, I mean, he hasn't won every day, so that's good. I do get a little excited when I'm like, oh yeah, there's somebody else doing really well on this or whatever, and like, you know. Anyways, it's very exciting, but no, there's some really talented people that do it, and I remember the year I participated, which was like 5 years ago now. I remember there being some really, really talented people and being like, wow, this is crazy. I can't believe that, you know, this person is able to do this stuff like day in and day out for like a whole month. It's just crazy. So, yeah, it's really impressive what people can do. So yeah, any suggestions for a topic that we should tackle over here? One of these lovely topics. You know, it's kind of boring for me to just pick. So GUI would be cool. Houseplant thinks that. Okay. Anything else? GUI. I don't even know what that means. A GUI. Yeah, that would be a little tricky. I don't know. Like, I saw so many cool things that were like honey and stuff like that. I'm like, 24 would be cool. Swarm. Oh, interesting. I'll give a second for a couple more people to respond if they're curious. But it looks like right now GUI has got 2 votes technically. But Camille says dance. HDA tree gen. Oh, that would be too easy. That would just be, there's the labs tools for that you could use. Hello. Ooh, that's your name. The beginning of your name is just ooh. That's very funny. I like that. Let's just load up Sora. Hey, well, that's going away, right? So that's cool. Good old Sora's dying. Oh. Tear. Clouds. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It looks like right now we've got 2 votes for GUI. So, I think we're going to go with that because that sounds fun to me too. And that's like 2.5 votes because I'm down with that. That sounds fun. All right. Let's do it. GUI. We've got GUI votes. All right. GUI 2020. Yeah, I would vote GUI. Like just a pot of honey or like jam or something like that for president 2028. That sounds cool. I'm down. All right. Well, let's get into it. Again, if you have any suggestions about, you know, better ways of doing things or thoughts or whatever, blah, 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 feel free to throw it in the chat. And thankfully now I can read my chat, even though it's not working on the old Discord. Who knows what that's all about? But we are going to just not worry about that. Okay. Hello. Andy Van. Hello. Welcome. Andy, I've seen your name too on Mardini. Congrats on participating and getting in there. Nice job. All right. Let's do some GUI stuff. All right, let's throw down oops, what did I do here? What did I do? All right. What am I typing? All right, let's add a geo node here. And I think I'm going to turn this off. There we go. Let's do, okay. So something that I think would be really fun to do, and I'm just going to go with this at first. And if we have more GUI ideas, cool. Yeah. Nice job, Andy. I like I was mentioning before, I did Mardini a couple years ago. It was a real grind to do every day, but getting the swag, actually, this is part of my swag from it. Now that I'm remembering that, yes, I got this. So, yeah, hopefully you'll get some fun stuff in the mail from Side Effects if you participate in every day and get your iron heart. But yeah, cool. So, all right. So what I'm going to do first, I want to do a chocolate bar. I think like putting chocolate on a bar, basically. I think that's my first idea here. So, we're going to do that, I think. So, let's do I'm just going to say Sim Choco Bar. Choco Taco. I love watching Choco Taco play play video games. I know that's lame of me, but maybe that's just silly. All right, it's green. That's the right color. Oh, crazy story, by the way. This is super random, and I'm a huge nerd for even bringing this up probably, but I was in San Francisco for GDC and was at like a Houdini meetup, like a user group meetup, and Steve Nipping was there. And I was like, dude, that's so cool. Like, nice to meet you. Like, thanks for all the stuff all the tutorials and things like that. And he was super chill dude, and we chatted for a while. And so there we go. All my colored jokes, you know, shout out to Steve Nipping. Kind of out of practice, Andy says. So he's been doing a relevant tutorial each day. Nice. Yeah, that's, hey, honestly, like, I think, like I said, I got like 3rd place maybe one day, and I was like super stoked. Like, that was so cool. But like, yeah, it's just about getting better and faster and getting back into the, you know, back into the things. Yeah. Oh, I did a lot of Steve's tutorials from CG Circuit. He said he almost didn't even make those. Like, a friend of his was like, hey, you should think about doing this. This would be cool. I think like a friend was, maybe they were like starting up CG Circuit or something. I don't know. But he was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And like, I'm like, man, I'm glad you said yes. Cause like, that's like, you know, that's a huge part of a lot of people's like learning journeys and stuff like that. I mean, obviously seeing his tutorials in people's reels and stuff, you can always spot him. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, he's a cool dude. So yeah, shout out to Steve. Really nice to meet him and have a little chat. And yeah, he's doing some cool stuff these days. Cool. Anyways, all right, let's do a chocolate bar. All right, so let's just do a box. And I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna throw this on the ground. And let's do a match size. Yeah, I agree, Andy. He does explain things really well, and is chill too. Chill guy, nice and easy to listen to. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so let's do this. Let's scale this down a bit. Let's do It's really funny to do these like full scale, but or like I think I'm gonna do MPM for this. So let's see what we get with that. But this is 5'3". Man, like that's like 3 feet long. That's too big. I don't know. Let's try it like this actually. Let's see. I'm just gonna don't actually know what the measurements will be, but we'll do something like, man, for some reason, I feel like this is a bad idea to go this small scale. I've never done small scale MPM, but I'm going to just say no. Let's not do that. That seems dumb. Let's just do it at this scale and we'll just have something. Okay. It'll be a gigantic chocolate bar. It'll be fine. The biggest chocolate bar that's ever existed. All right, let's do that. And maybe we'll do something like this is going to be like the inner core of it, and we'll pour some chocolate on it. Let's do a bevel, poly bevel. But let's only do it for maybe these top corners, something like that. So we're going to do something not super procedural here, and we're just going to select these, maybe maybe these ones too. I don't know. That's great. And let's do a little bevel here. Oh, right. Gotta hit enter. I was like, the values are changing, but I'm not seeing them change in the viewport. There we go. Oops. Got that down there. So let's just deselect that. Great. Cool. Let's maybe make it a little bigger. Do like 3.5, something like that. Cool. And then let's do a remesh on this just to give us some randomness and some shape to it. And let's do something like, I don't know, Maybe like that. And then let's do some, maybe like some displacement here. Let's search vector. Leonard's back home. Oh my gosh, you're gonna knock down my, hi bud. Hi, buddy. Hello. Hi, I know. Okay. Hi, buddy. He's back from his walk, so he's very excited. The pup's in the shop. Got a little face attack there. Okay. Anyways, so we're gonna change our point position here. We got a vector, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do v at p dot y is greater than 0. I think that should work. And let's do a noise here. And actually, does it just need to be at p dot y? There it is. There it is. This is not. We're going to add. Sorry. Cool. And then maybe we'll say 0.1. Just to make this a little bit more interesting, right? Gosh. Okay, we'll call that good. We're gonna do this 0 centered actually as well. All right, there's our little interior candy bar. Just put a null down here. Okay, so we have our, say, candy interior. Cool. All right. Let's get an emitter here as well. So we're just going to do a box, but it's going to be on the other. It's going to be on the other axis. So let's do something like this. Yeah, maybe like that. Cool. It does not need to be that wide. Oops. Okay. Let's try a transform here and maybe over a few seconds we'll have it go down. So we'll start it, what are we here in Z? So we'll start like this and go down here. Hey there, Cognitive Drift. How you doing? I've been using Blender for modeling. Want to get into simulations in Houdini to level up my product viz. Any courses you recommend for beginners to learn the right way? Well, I always suggest people starting off with, like, you know, the most basic stuff. Sorry, my cushion on my chair is getting all off whack here. I always recommend taking a look at the foundations courses on sideeffects.com. You can find different learning paths there, and that would be a really good one to just start out with. From there, if you're doing product visualization, like advertising style stuff, honestly, a lot of the entagment tutorials are really nice. They're kind of random, unfortunately. It's not like a learning path, but I think those are really nice. As far as other things that people have suggested that are really good, Hip Flask. I think that's Fraser Shears. His stuff is supposed to be really, really good. I've never gone through it, but that's a little bit newer. Yeah, Mops is a great thing to like start learning about. It's kind of designed to be similar to like C4D's like MoGraph tools. So that's a good thing to learn. And yeah, there's lots of like stuff in the getting started learning path on sideeffects.com. So that's, you know, that's a good spot to check out too. So yeah, lots of stuff to take a look at. So yeah, hopefully those suggestions might be helpful. Let's see here. Let's keyframe that. There we go. Looking good. Oh gosh. I wish I had a camera on my dog. He likes to like nest in his bed. So his bed is like right next to me, like down here. And he likes to like move his blankets around, and it's literally the funniest thing because he just shoves them back and forth. Oh, I need to get like a little camera to show him because it's literally still. There goes my green screen. But he's like, he can't make up his mind where the blanket should go, and then he just eventually gives up after like a few minutes, and it's so funny. He's such a goof. Yeah, doggo cam. That would be amazing. Got to make those big bucks. Like and subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. I don't make any money from this. Oh, cool. My Discord thing is working again. Hooray. Oh, that's nice. All right. Anyways. Okay. So we've got our emitter here. I'm just going to call this anim. Yeah. Doggo for the win. Mr. Leonard. He's the best. Okay. So let's do a, we'll just do an npm configure. It's a nice way to start out because it'll put all the things down that you need, and then you can just rewire them in. So this is going to be our npm source. So let's do that. This is going to go here. So let's just plug and play and go for it. All right. So there's our animation emitter. This is going to be our candy bar. Interior. What's this mad about? Not enough sources. Yeah, now it does. All right, I'll let the CPU kernel or the GPU kernel compile real quick. Excuse me. Wow. Coffee went down the wrong pipe apparently there. All right. Compiling. Whew. Excuse me. Glad I have quick access to a button for a quick cough. All right, we're almost there. Sorry, unfortunately, these OpenCL things take a little bit to compile, and I think my computer's starting to show its age a little bit. But unfortunately, until our GPU overlords fail in their intent to have everything be run by one superintelligence on 10 trillion GPUs, I think I will not be having a new computer anytime soon. But I was very excited to hear that Sora, they shut it down. But yeah, GPU overlords. Hey, look at that. Oh, that's weird. That's just weird looking. There's just one little thing. Blunk. All right, we're done. Chocolate. Okay, so let's go through here and play around with some things. That's our snow preset. Let's go with probably honey, is probably the best one to start with. We're gonna have to recompile this. The other thing we need to do is we need to change the emission type to continuous. Yeah, so we don't need this overlapping expansion, but we're gonna have continuous activation, so that should be good. We can turn the activation on and off here, so. All right, I will let that compile. Oh, hi, Fractaler. Nice to have you. Welcome. It's so funny to have people that are in the chat often, and I know them mainly just by their handles, and it's really funny that you all are just out there doing your thing. I don't know. The world is a weird place. I can just put a video of myself out there and people talk to me. It's very strange. Anyways, just having existential thoughts here while I'm waiting for the OpenCL to compile. And there we go. Oh, we have another compile that needs to happen. That's weird. Oh, good question here. Oh, that's so fun. That is just fun. Okay. Liking that. Really liking that. Okay. Gerota asked, is there a difference between using OpenCL and the default CPU simulation in Houdini? I haven't noticed much difference. Well, thanks, Fractaler. I appreciate that. Yes, I am glad to have you all hang out with me. And before I started doing the stream, I did not know one single person that used Houdini. So this is, I have completed my goal for this stream. So is there a difference between OpenCL and CPU simulation? Not every solver has an OpenCL mode. So the NPM solver is OpenCL natively and does not have a CPU mode. Technically you can run OpenCL on your CPU as well, but I mean, it would just be super, super slow. In this case, we're running it on the GPU for all the calculations, but it can fall back to the CPU if there's like a problem or whatever. But there definitely are benefits in some cases. It really depends on what it is you're doing. Like Flip, I would say isn't really like there is some OpenCL stuff you can do with it, but it doesn't really feel, I think maybe that's what you're thinking of. Like you don't really feel a huge difference there. Awkward Poly, that explains my laptop 3070. Yeah, I have a desktop 3090 and it's like, the other thing too is I'm pretty sure the CPU is what compiles the kernels, and I'm pretty sure it's a single threaded thing. So from that standpoint, I have a Threadripper, which is actually pretty bad at compiling because its single threaded speed isn't quite as high because it has a ton of cores. So if you had like a lower level Ryzen chip, it would actually probably compile faster, counterintuitively, at least from what I can tell based on what's going on the computer. Because like when it's compiling, it's not like spiking any usage anywhere on my computer. But anyways, all right. So let's see here. So what are we going to do? We're going to, all right. It's a little too solid, but that's fine. Okay. Let's see here. So we need to deactivate it probably, let's do it at like 85. So I'm just going to put in a little, I'm going to do a little $F is less than 85. And that should resolve to be true anytime it's lower than 85. And that's good. It's always nice to, I think that's the nicest way to do these little activation things, because then you don't have to bother with keyframes and things like that. Unless you have a really complicated thing you need to do. But if you just need like one keyframe, just throw that in and then you can always adjust it. All right. So let's just see that that's working. It should. Now you can see we're going pretty nice and fast here. I mean, obviously the simulation scale is very, very big. And so that should stop. Blunk. And then there we go. Now this is considered honey like stiffness. The other thing I think we can do here too, now that I'm thinking of this, is I'm pretty sure we can do auto sleep. And what we could do here, hey nerd, what's up Philip? Welcome. Another one of those partaking in Mardini this year. Nice to see you. At least I think so. I thought I saw your name in there at some point. Compiling kernels. Should be a compiling kernel song that plays. Oh, Studio Notwar, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Nice to have you. So fun and exhausting. Oh, yeah, tell me about it. Oh, no. What's the drink? Just some decaf coffee. Very exciting. Very exciting. But I like the taste of coffee, so here I am, drinking decaf. Hopefully I'm doing a good job muting. I know some people are very... this is really frustrating. Wait. I know, sorry. Anyways. Yeah, I know some people are not big, not big. Like if I took a drink, that would really trigger some people. I mean, for me, whatever. That's not something I worry about, but I try to mute very, very cautiously so that people don't have to listen to anything that would gross them out. I got some OpenCL exceptions. I'm hoping that that's just a random... Hey, Plankton, welcome. Plankton's been asking a lot of great questions. ASMR, no. I don't think that's ASMR. I think that's something else. I think that's the opposite of ASMR. Are we doing food? No, we're doing gooey. We're doing gooey. I wanted to have some gooey chocolate on top of a candy bar. And right now we're doing wait for OpenCL. So, yeah, wasn't happy a second ago. So hopefully this, oh yeah, this is going great. This is going great. Oh, wait a second. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. Hold on. Yes, it is that. All right, enable auto sleep, initial state. Oh, here we go. Active. That's the problem. Ugh. Okay, couple quick questions. How are you streaming and making Sims? Shouldn't it chug your CPU, GPU for Sims while streaming, so it would technically lag? Well, I used to be streaming and doing it all on my same computer, and it did do that from time to time. But now I have two computers next to each other that are helping me stream, and I have some really cool stuff from Beacon Audio that allows me to have my microphone interface split between two computers. So I plug them into both computers and it actually transfers all my audio back and forth with like a little software thing. So, or a little hardware thing. I've got like a little hardware thing here now. So it's really nice. I like it a lot. And I've been getting more and more used to it. So so I'm just actually capturing this screen. So this computer could completely crash and the stream would be fine, which is very nice. Another question, those settings for the material properties, are those some sort of science thing? Like I could look it up in Wikipedia page or something? Yes, certainly you could. So for the material stuff, these, yes, you definitely could look those up and find them. For viscous, it's a little bit different than for chunky. I want to say there's some weird like tension. I think I can change it to this without incurring anything. Well, anyways. Yes, Philip is right. There's you can find the NPM values, and actually the names, like these labels, are not the things that you would see in like the documentation. There's actually like letters and things like that, like here, critical compression, critical stretch, those might be, but then there's like volume preservation is new, NU, stiffness is E. Yeah, so there's a couple things like in the chunky one, but in the viscous one, it's a little easier. This is pretty straightforward stuff. No, I don't have an A10 Mini, although I have used one of those before, and they're very nice, and I like them. But sorry, I'm just moving my Discord over a little bit, just so I can read a little bit better here. But yes, moving up a little bit on the streaming setup for sure, which is nice. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, that was my Christmas thing this year, was setting this all up. Wiping my desktop so that I could go to Windows 11 just so I could set this stuff up, because this only ran on Windows 11, unfortunately. So I was kind of a little bummed about that, but anyways. Okay. After all this OpenCL has compiled, great, here we are. Okay, cool. So we're getting somewhere here. Let's turn the stiffness down a little bit. Let's just do one of these. Let's just do a factor of 10 and see where that gets us. Okay. 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 Little too smooth. Little too smooth. All right. So let's go back to 100,000 and let's take this. Let's do 1.125. We'll cut it in half. See where that gets us. Okay, let's turn the viscosity down a little bit too. I think it's folding a little too much. Okay. Let's do 4, 5, and let's go back to 2.25 for stiffness. So maybe it's just a little viscosity thing that we need to tweak here. Okay. All right. We're getting somewhere here. Now, the part of the issue here is that we're going to run into this this sort of piling up here. So let's do this. Let's make this a little bit narrower. What axis is that in? X. So let's do maybe 4. Hey then, Rare. Hey, Rare. Nice to have you. What have you missed? Some OpenCL compiling at this point. Let's see here. Let's try 0.35. Yeah, I need to change the scale of these. Yeah, okay. Need to change the particle scale. Let's do that here. Particle separation. Let's not go too crazy. Let's just kind of slowly step it down and see where that gets us. All right, not really slowing down too much, so let's do 125. That's interesting. It like almost hardened a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna lower the viscosity a little bit here. So let's do 425. Okay. Getting somewhere here. Let's turn this stiffness down a little bit. Oh, hello again, Leonard. Welcome back. Hi. Hi, bud. Oh, pulling my headphones. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Total chaos. Total chaos. Oh my gosh. He's been in rare form all day today. He's been like, you've got to pay more attention to me. And as much as I do want to, I do have to work as well. So it's very difficult. Okay, so I think there's a couple things that's going on here. I think first of all, we need this to be a little slimmer. So let's do that. That's this. And let's see, I'll just do it like that, maybe. Just a nice thin little like curtain. A little bit thinner. Oh, nice. Yeah, the auto sleep is really working. That's nice. Let's see here. Is there a sleep? Yeah, it must be the state parameter. So if we do this, we should be able to see that these are going to be going into different states. Yep. Cool. Nice. Okay. So that's obviously really helpful to have. Okay, so let's tweak some more things here. We'll lower the stiffness a little bit more. Yeah, we're trying to do some chocolate of some type. I think that's more or less what we're doing here. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, there we go. I'm actually still going to thin this out a little bit more, I think. Let's actually do this and this maybe. Then we might turn up the particles, like have more particles here, because I think we're running a little low on particles. Which is fine. I mean, yeah, we're only at a few. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So let's come over here and we'll do something like that, maybe. Oh, weird. Getting some major substepping there. Let's see here. How many substeps do we have? 48. All right. Let's see. Could I add in a substep here? Yeah, that seems good. Okay. Oops. What did I do? All right, I'll let that Let that simulate. Oh, I think we're a little shy here. Maybe what we want to do here is, yeah, let's have that go maybe a few frames longer. Maybe we'll have it go to just all the way to 90. The other thing I was just thinking of too here is the NPM collider could probably turn the stickiness up on it a little bit. So let's do that, see where that gets us. I love this like back and forth. It's very fun. Yeah, so I think if you were doing this, is there a way to slow it down instead? It's going really fast. I mean, yeah, you could just slow it down and like if you wanted to go in like slow motion or something like that. Like, I mean, if you had it going through like a fountain of chocolate, it would be really quick. You know what I mean? Like it's not, yeah, you could definitely slow it down. However, oh, sorry, I don't have my, turn this up. Yeah, it would basically just be a post process to like slow it down more or less. Especially with something like this that's just particles. Should be fairly straightforward to slow it down. Especially without, it doesn't have like any big like splashes or things like that, you know, so that it should be fairly straightforward. We can take a look at that. Yeah, and like in real life, you wouldn't actually have this sitting on like a hard surface. You would have it up a little bit, like so it would be on like it would honestly be on like a chain type thing. And you would actually do like you would like probably the better way of doing this would be like almost like a pop kill here, but you want to have a little bit of, I don't know, this is fine. This will be fine for what we're doing here. It's not super exciting. But like, yeah, if we wanted to do that, just trying to think here. It's been a while since I've done this. Right. So if we throw this in here, and we could do the speed at half, probably. Now, obviously, this up here is, you're not going to want to see it, right? But that all down there works just fine, playing it back. Because this is jittering here because it's like generating and whatever. But we could even slow it down to like quarter. Probably should still work just fine if we're not watching that part up there. Man, I wish this node existed back when I was doing this kind of stuff for the studio I worked at, because man, that would have made my life a lot easier. It's actually simulating it. So it's like simulate, each frame is getting pushed out into 4 frames, so it's jumping ahead like 4 frames each time it calculates one. But you can see here, we've got a nice slow. Yeah, you can also change the gravity if you wanted to. That's totally fine. You could do that as well. So yeah, I'll let this simulate out. You can see here, we're really only, we've stretched out not even 120 frames here. You know, obviously all the way, it'll be all the way to 240 because we're at a quarter of the speed. But so now this is the real-time playback of that simulation. And obviously, you can go even farther with it. You can just go to one if you want to and just say, here we go. There will be a point of loss at some point here, right? Because what we're doing is basically, you know, interpolating between the frames, right? So we're going point to point. So like there is a certain, you know, there's a certain point where this will start to really show that it's slowed down, right? But even at this speed, it's pretty good. And I think what's in here is there's probably a time blend in here, if I'm remembering correctly. Or maybe I'm just wrong in general. Yeah, I guess I'm just wrong. Looks like it's all... Yeah, I don't even know. Anyways, there you go. But yeah, so we're doing interpolation between frames and all that kind of stuff. You could also, I think you can smooth, like these should smooth different ways, like linear or, you know, cubic or subdivision smoothing and things like that. This can also work with volumes, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, let's just do half speed. Let's do half speed. Because I don't think we really need to worry too much about that. Yeah, like I like that. That's good. And probably what I would say is I would probably have it go another, have it go a little bit further, but this is fine. Not the worst. And I like this, how we've got these like little ripples in it. It's kind of cool. Like that feels right for like, if it was like chocolate, like it would ripple like that. Yeah, so probably if I was doing this for real somewhere, what I would do is like almost have like I maybe would even create something that would kill off these particles as they drop down, and like gave it like a little, like almost like a real grit, because it like sits usually on like a conveyor that's like a bunch of lines, and then that lets the chocolate drain through so that it doesn't just pool and sit there like this. So I'd probably do something like that here. If I was doing this like in real, like for a real like job or something, like have something that would kill the particles as it would go, like maybe give it like a little bit of a grid that it would sit on top of with like a collider, and then allow it to like flow through. And then that way it would give it some kind of something to hold it up a little bit to keep it to the, this chocolate. But the other thing too is you can, like, you could go even crazier with this. Like, probably don't want to go all the way, but if we did this, we should see that it'll like, the particles should really stick to this a lot more. And like, I mean, it's not that it's not going to pool around it or anything like that, but it really should slow these things down and not let them like slide quite as much. At least that's my thought, but maybe it's the friction. Maybe I'm thinking of that the wrong way. Maybe friction is really doing that, and the sticky would only really work if we like dipped it in. You know what I mean? But either way, yeah, it looks about the same. So nothing too crazy happening there. Okay. Yeah, it's doing its thing. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do just going to cache this. There aren't any volumes here being saved. Okay. I mean, you could export some things here, but it's okay. Let's do a file cache. Let's just save this. Oh, goodness gracious. I get caught up on things and then forget to save them. GUI like that. Hello again, Leonard. Welcome back. Dude, you're crazy. You're crazy, bud. Okay. Man, he is in rare form today. If we want the chocolate to not be completely melted and still have some solid chunks, is it best to use a noise mask to define where the larger solid chocolate pieces remain? Yeah, I mean, you could also do that in NPM. Like, you could have solid pieces in there. It would really slow the simulation down because solid stuff is a much, like, takes a lot more substeps to to work out. But yeah, you definitely could do that in here. And take a look at Peter Sinitra's his, obviously everybody remembers the little cookies demo with turning it into like a frappuccino kind of a thing. Gooey dog saliva. But take a look at that because that has kind of all of those elements kind of built into it, right? It's got hard things and soft things and kind of all working together. And so, yeah, NPM is definitely really good for that. It's just, it would definitely slow everything down if you wanted to do that all, through it. So, oh, okay. BRB. Sounds good. All right, there we go. Now I'm not such a loser and forget to save my thing. Okay. File cache. We're gonna call this Choco Sim cache. Hey Kay, am I planning to go to SIGGRAPH this year? I don't know. We'll see. I have not. It's still a little early for that. SIGGRAPH is in July or August, I want to say. And yeah, I don't know. I would love to. It is in LA, which isn't my favorite, but I would definitely love to go. I always like SIGGRAPH. I did go to GDC just recently, which is not my favorite conference, but hey, it was still nice to be learning things about stuff and talking to people that are interested in Houdini and things like that. It was cool. All right, let's save this to disk. No love for LA. Man, LA is just not my scene. I'm more of a New York guy. I'm an East Coast person. LA is just, I don't know, too big, there's no good public transport. I don't know, just weird for me. Yeah, I don't know. I also don't love the convention center in LA. I think it's just big and kind of huge for very little reason. Like, I really have enjoyed going to Vancouver. Like, that convention center is amazing, and Vancouver's pretty nice too. But and then it was in Denver one year that I went, and that was You live in LA with New York dreams. Well, I live in New York State, but I live 6.5 hours from New York City. So, I don't really go to New York City very often, but I do like it. Yeah, Vancouver's awesome. I like Vancouver a lot. All right, our cache is complete. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice. Nothing too fancy, but it's doing it. Does what it needs to. All right, let's try. Let's try the fluid, the particle fluid surface. Let's see. Ibotech was saying, hey, still beginner. I see people doing UV in simulations like these and the UVs deform. How? Yeah, that's a really tricky process. I'm really honestly not very good at it, but what you would do more or less is you would feed in, oh, sorry, this is what's happening here. Wait a second. Is there an NPM surface? Am I forgetting this? Yes, there is. Sorry. Duh. Okay. So the way that you would, ooh, that's fun. Oh, that's satisfying. That is satisfying. So the way that you would kind of do that is you would come up here to your NPM source, and you would give this some sort of, you'd give it some sort of a UV attribute basically to these points, and you would let that kind of process through as it as it flows and moves and stuff like that. The other, yeah, like some with Flip, there's a thing that you can do called like dual rest, and that's like two different like rest fields that kind of like actively like blend in and out over a certain amount of time, and that's a way that you can have like UVs deforming through things. I'm not super, like I said, I'm not super good at it. And I've never really gotten the hang of it completely. Would it be possible to use prim UV to apply the UV coordinates to the position morphed? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm trying to think about that. But I think what you would probably do in that case is yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to think about that. I mean, is it possible? Maybe, but I'm not sure exactly what you're getting at there. But I think usually what I would do is do some sort of like, UV coordinate or whatever. If you have a rest position and make a mesh on the rest position, you can have UVs on the mesh and then look up an attribute from the map and then feed it back to the points. Tagman has a great tutorial on that. There you go. Yeah, that's a good option too. I guess you could, that's basically the the inverse, where you would basically take like this position here and make a UV of that, basically. Like you would UV that and then deform that back through. Like back through the whole thing, maybe? If that's what you're saying. Because like that kind of makes sense. Like you would do this. So you've got this mesh here. And then you would UV it. So like if you did let's just do an auto UV just because I'm lazy. Like that. What is it not having? Particle sep detail attribute. Anyways. Yes, in one point you want to see nice texture on the fluid, but after that the particles mix, so you have to choose the point in time which you want to have the nice look. Yep, exactly. Why am I not seeing UV attribute on this? Apparently, it can't do that. That's really strange. Yeah, so I think what you would need to have here is some sort of an ID attribute that you could maybe look up these previous UVs from. You can have point UVs with the attribute from map node. Yeah, I mean, you could set up point UVs a bunch of different ways. Yep. I was just trying to get one from the surface here to make a nice UV'd surface instead of like having to pull, just basically project the UVs onto it. Okay, enough of that. That's silly. Let's just do this. That's fine. So you could do this and then do we have IDs here? We do. Perfect. So then what we could do is we could we do a time shift here. I think this would work. I'm just doing this off the top of my head. So we have a time shift. We're going to say frame. We're just going to delete that. Delete channels, 240. That's good. And we could just say attribute transfer. And we're actually going to transfer the UV coordinates over. And then we'll promote them. Sorry. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I just need to do that over here. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This is kind of silly to do the surfacing, but whatever. Do this with vertex to point. We'll do the texture. can bring over the UV here. And now that should have a UV on it. Yep, lovely. And then I'm trying to think. I feel like there's a way you could do this. Attribute. Copy? Yeah, I think this would work. And we're going to do... Actually, you know what we'll do? Yeah, let's do an attribute from map, because that'll put the color on there, and then we can actually see this. It's a little easier to work with. So if we do that and we go by match by attribute, go by ID. Yeah, that should technically work. It's weird that it was like jumping at the beginning there. I don't know what that was all about. Don't know why those colors are changing like that. Oh, Oh, wait a second. Sorry, there might be something weird going on here. Yes, there is. I need to do this. That's what's going on here. That's why things are acting weird. That should be totally stationary. Yes. There we go. Hey, that worked out pretty well. It's kind of cool. I was like, why is this changing? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, obviously you could do a better job UVing it. It's like weird and stretchy, but so yeah, then what would actually make sense is you could do this and then oh, right. We're only doing CD there. We actually want to bring over the texture as well. Then this we could do the UV from it. We should have UVs on it. I mean, it's not perfect, but you know, the idea is there. Obviously, this is much faster to look at just because it's going to, there we go. I was like, why is that playing so slow? Yep. Cool. Well, it's very fun. Hopefully that's something sort of interesting. Let's see here. What could we do? Kind of feel like we could do like a I don't know. Could do a still like this. And let's just do a... Hey, Jazz, welcome. Nice to have you, man. Thanks for the kind words. Hijaz is one of the tech consultants at Side Effects, which I've just recently been moved over to that team, which is very exciting. But yeah, nice to have you, man. Dude, it's late for you. You need to go to bed, man. If you're UK time, whew, it's bedtime, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for dropping a message in the chat. That's super nice. Nice to hear from you. So we'll just say this candy bar render or something like that. And then this will be hey, Vlatko, welcome. What are we doing? We're doing a GUI. We're doing the GUI Mardini prompt. So I'm doing some GUI chocolate here. So could I use the new neural point surface node? I technically am, because that's what this is right here. It's in surface mode and it's a neural point surface. And so within here, I'm pretty sure if we did a find, we'd find neural point surfacing. And there it is. So it's technically in here and we're using it. It's just, there's a lot more stuff going on with it here and it's doing some other stuff. So technically, you can use the neural point surface in here for the NPM surface. You can also go to particle fluid surface. And if you go in here, you can change this to neural point surface as well. And now you have the same thing. You have a neural point surface that's right within the particle fluid surface node itself. So yeah, we've made it so that it's a little bit easier to just kind of use it that way rather than worrying too much about setting that one kind of atomic node, like very, very fine control node, put a little bit more stuff wrapped around it just to make sure that it works properly. So yeah, IBO, that's what we're using. If you used the traditional mode like this would be VDB from particles. Not very nice, but neural point surface looks a lot nicer. And we could do the balanced as well, and it's going to be a much smoother, like chocolate thing here. You could do liquid, which gives it a little bit more movement to it, or smooth, which I think is like super, super like almost blurred a little bit. I don't think granular would look very good. That's not bad, but not what I'm looking for. I think we'll stick with liquid. That looks pretty good. Either that or balanced. Let's leave it on that. That looks actually pretty good. Okay, so we've got our chocolate out here, and then we have our candy up there as well. Cool. Wonder if we could find any... go to Polyhaven, see if there's any textures here. Probably not. Okay, well let's just do this. Let's do our we'll just do it right in here. That's fine. We'll just do a LOP network. And let's do a sub import. And we'll call this one candy bar. Okay, so there's our world geo candy bar with a mesh. Let's do another sub import here. And here we're going to say chocolate sim. And I'm going to put this into world effects like that. And so this is a candy bar, chocolate sim. We're going to do this here, out chocolate. There we go. So the other thing too to keep in mind whenever you're doing stuff like this is that within Solaris, you're going to have, like, when you see this time dependency here, you're actually running into something that's kind of a little bad in some ways. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And so really what you would often want to do here, so like say we had it like this, we had the candy bar and the chocolate bar, and we wanted to do a like a cache or a file cache or something like that. So this we could cache all frames, and it's going to go through and save out the simulation for every frame. We could say cache up to cooked frames. This is going to go through and kind of cache out each of those frames now. So it's going through, probably can't see it, but it's going through like kind of a couple frames at a time and doing that. So we can actually give that, I'll give that a second to just kind of catch up to frame 120. It's just about halfway done right now. So, so what it can do then is if it's cached up to the current cooked frame, that means that we can go and scrub through those frames cleanly. Like it's not going to need to recache for that. And so the idea with Solaris is that you want to have things either cached or brought in as files, like especially if you've got something really heavy like this with constantly changing mesh. So I would recommend, if you were doing a simulation like this and you knew you were going over to Solaris, to like write it out to a USD file instead. But now we should be able to go through this and actually have this really smooth. If we go past this, it's going to have to keep, caching these things out. But whatever frame we scrub to, it's going to cache up to that. So here is now 128. And now we can go through and scrub around. This time dependency is still there, but it's cached. The other thing we could do is we could write this out to a USD file, and that's going to play back super smooth as well. So just something to keep in mind when you're working with simulations in USD. That's something to kind of keep in mind. The other thing you can do from SOPs, if you wanted to do that, is you could go in here and do a I think it's a USD configure import. And so here you can actually set it up to have a certain import path prefix. So you could do this, right? In fact, let me just throw this in here and you can see what this looks like. I am going to go in here and I'm just going to hit escape because I don't want it to be simulating that. So instead of this, I'm going to turn off this import path prefix. So actually, I'm just going to copy that. And what we can do here is right now it's not really doing anything. So let's come in here. We'll say USD configure. We'll do an import path prefix. That's really strange. this should be doing that. Really strange. I am not sure. Oh, maybe it doesn't like that it's a polygon soup. Oh, it's up there. I'm so stupid. Sorry. I'm like, why is this not working? Ay, ay, ay. Dumb, 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 dumb. Okay, there we go. So let's go back to frame 120. And so what we can do here is we can tell it to be going to, and then something like that if we wanted to. I think that should, oops, that should now make sure it's in the right spot. World effects, chocolate sim, right? And so if we took these two together and merged them, we should see now that these are both kind of living in that same spot. Although I don't really want this to cache it right now. So let's just turn that off for a second. There we go. And we can see that we can now put these in here. So, you know, we have that control from SOPs if we wanted. The other thing you could do then too is you could do a USD file export, write this all to a, you just turn this off here basically. You could no, because see, here's the problem is anything that you've got like in a SOP create. So the question is, if we go to Solaris, create a SOP create node to import the cache, would that be enough for it to work? No, see, because what you're still doing there is you're going from SOPs into USD, right? So you're going from Houdini data to USD data, right? And so you have to make that conversion. And that's where the problem really lies. So if you did this here, this USD export here, and you said, we'll just render a few frames here. So I'm just going to delete this channel and we'll do like, I don't know, let's do like 48 frames. And I'm going to save this to disk. We'll just let that go through and do its thing. This is actually going to be saving a USD file that is going to have that same hierarchy, right? So when we bring that in, we're all set basically. So what we can do then is we can come in here into Solaris. We could do something like a sublayer, which is the kind of the most basic type of import there is, more or less. Go into our geo, we could just grab this, and this should be our simulation. Now it's going to just hold there, right? It doesn't simulate past that. But you can see here that there is no time dependency, right? There's a time dependency here. And if I play this back, it's like chugging frame by frame by frame by frame. Here, none of that. It just plays back nice and efficiently. So that's the benefit of the USD file, basically. And we could do the same thing here. Just say 120, right? And so what this is doing is it's actually using this prefix. This is basically the same import dialog you have in Solaris. It's just over in SOPs instead. So yeah, I just set a few things here, save the attributes and things like that. But anyways, if we save this to disk now, right over that, then over in Solaris, it's the same exact thing. And actually this is technically faster than caching it over in USD, right? Because there is no conversion happening. We're just, well, I mean, there is sort of, but it's not having to like visualize it and like write the scene graph and everything like that. It's just writing it straight to disk. So that's why this is a lot faster. This is only taking maybe 30 seconds versus a minute like it did in Solaris itself. So I actually do recommend this for a lot of cases. Like if you're going to cache your stuff out and you're ready and you're going to be going over to Solaris, using a USD export for like a cache could be a really, really helpful thing. Yes, exactly. Without Zach was saying without the USD configure SOP, would the USD export still work and just be a sloppy mess in the hierarchy? Yeah, 100%. You could set it up. I mean, technically it is in the USD export here as well. But there are like, it's just, I think it's a little cleaner to see it that way. I mean, you can do it either way, right? It's totally fine. Yeah, you could use this as well, and it probably has that configuration stuff in it as well. So, I mean, yeah, you just want to be making sure that you're doing this stuff one way or another. I already kind of threw this USD configure in there. If I was using just the USD export, I could set this relative path prefix and do pretty much the same exact things there. I don't think there's anything extra in these if I'm seeing this correctly. Oh no, there's a couple things in here that are different. Default primitive. No, it's a little different, slightly different, but anyways, yes, do one of those, at least do something to give yourself some hierarchy. Cause yes, it would just be, I think it would just put it to /geometry. And then when you bring it in, you'd have to mess around with stuff. And yeah, as Zach was saying, no, I mean, it is confusing, Zach. Like Zach saying that USD is the future and he's the old man shaking his hand at the cloud. No, I mean, it's tough. It is really tough. Like there's a lot of like strange words and terms and things like that make it really hard. But I think when you look at it logically and think about it, it's really not too bad. It's one thing to think about. And this is where the real, like when you start to see the real power of it, right, is say you're using something in like Cinema 4D or whatever, like that's where I come from. But like if you were exporting something to Arnold, you'd hit render and it would like build, it would say like building scene, and then it would start rendering, right? Well, building scene is making your scene description file, right? And USD is a scene description file. So what you're doing inherently in Solaris is building your scene description file. So when you hit render, there is no scene description file to build. It is just built already. So that is why it's powerful, but also can be slightly tricky because you're building the scene description file. But it allows you a lot of control over the hierarchy and how things are instanced and blah, blah, blah. And it should be a bit more universal as more and more, Solaris render delegates use it. Like if Redshift has a good render delegate in Solaris, then you should almost be able to switch over and just change a couple, shader settings or have multiple shaders on a prim, and it should just switch between the render engines. Arnold has a pretty good Solaris integration from what I understand. RenderMan does as well. I think Redshift is just lagging behind a little bit in that, just because I don't think as many of their clients really would use it. So anyways, it's difficult though. But hey, if you really want, I have some videos out there on sideeffects.com that are all about USD and can give you some tips on that. So, Redshift is good. I had heard that some people were frustrated with it. Maybe that was a while ago. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of everything, but that's good to know. That's good to know. Maybe just people are just used to just slamming everything together and having it work. And you need a little more finesse in Solaris for pretty much anything you're doing. So, but anyways, so yeah, USD export, that should come over here into Solaris, and I'm going to do a sub layer again. And we're just going to grab this. And so the weird thing with these networks here in USD is that you can do it like this, right? And you can merge it together, or you could just plug it in like this and not even use a merge. And this is basically the exact same thing. It just kind of depends on how you're interested in doing things. Like in this case, I'd probably just forego the merge. I don't really need it because I'm just sub-layering this on top. So yeah, Studio, it looks like Zach was saying that it's pretty good. So, and I'm guessing he's using it for Mardini. So check out his renders for Mardini. They look pretty great. So I think he's got something going for him there. So anyways, this is bringing it over into here, and now we have this nice and structured. Yeah. So for when you're doing stuff in USD, you always want to just keep things nice and organized, right? Like put geometry in places, effects in other places. Yeah, Maitland, you're right. It's a big process. But yeah, for like background scenes and stuff like that, moving between Houdini and USD, I think it's a pretty viable thing. Like if people ask me about like virtual production or like doing like large like levels, if they're building out these huge like open world levels or something like that, or maybe just like they're doing cinematics or something like that in Unreal, having the backgrounds as USD, it kind of makes sense. Like you don't have to worry too much about the performance, but a lot of games are starting to use USD for their file formats and things like that. So it's starting to pick up and catch on. So yeah. All right, let's see what we can do here. Well, let me do a material linker. Let me see if there's any AMD stuff like in this thing that are food related. I don't think there are, but yeah, it's a good point, Maitland. Just finding the processes and like things that are important for your workflow and then making like recipes of those. And yeah, I think that's important to like have everything, make sense to come together like that. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I didn't say this today. If at any point during these streams, since I have kind of updated my audio stuff recently, if there's anything where you're like, your audio sounds really funky or weird or something, just let me know. I'm always trying to make sure that stuff is all good. Hopefully it's pretty good. It seems like it's fine, but yeah, I just want to make sure that it's good. I'm glad. I just realized I've been saying that a couple times recently, just in more recent streams. Okay. I don't think there's anything in here that would be helpful. No. Let me do this. Material X. Let's open this up and see if there's anything. I mean, could there be anything in here? Probably not. Kind of curious if there's a chocolate shader. That'd be amazing. Nah. I don't think I'm gonna come up with anything very interesting here. I'm not good at shader creation. This would probably be a place where Copernicus would be very strong for, but yeah, rock bar. There we go. Candy rock. There we go. And Big Rock Candy Mountain. Oh yeah, we've got something going here, guys. This is award winning. Let's see here. We're gonna do a dome light. Gonna do one of the HDRIs that are in here. This one. Do it in the garage setting, yeah. And let's just do a grid. Yeah, the UVs are working. They're not perfect, but they're something. They're doing all right. Let's just do this and do UV project. I wonder if there's like paper or something that we could get for that. Material linker. Is there like a paper? Oh, there's wallpapers. No, maybe tile. Is there some sort of interesting tile here? Maybe we could find like a kitchen tile that it could be Needs to be light. Maybe this? Too light. Too something. I don't know. The 80s Twix music. Oh, what about this? Oh, that's too crazy though. I don't know. I'm gonna try some different things here. Let's see. Oh, maybe this. Maybe this is just simple enough that it would be okay. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy with that. I mean, it's super dumb, but too bathroomy. You don't like eating a Twix off the bathroom floor? Oh, maybe. Oh, okay, hold on. Wait a second. Maybe like a wood. Maybe wood's better. Hello? The Twix is the bathroom floor. Yes. There we go. There we go. Some wood. That's what we want. It's like a table or something. Oh, kitchen wood. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Let's get it. There we go. In the garage with the, let's see here. We're going to turn this on, render the light geometry. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. We should make a pile of broken teeth. Oh, that sounds disgusting. Just teeth. Ugh. Yeah, there we go. It's gooey something. I don't know. It's something. But, well, there we go. Look at that. We even got a little render going. Hooray. Let me throw XPU on just to see what that looks like. And yeah, now I don't have to worry about it like freaking out my what do you call it? My microphone. That candy must be hard as rocks. Yep, sure is. Look at it. There it is. That's why it's in the garage. Third prize. Nailed it. Yep. Got to throw it through Copernicus. Get some nice lens effects on it. I mean, it's ridiculous that this, like, I know it's nothing. It's literally nothing, but it's ridiculous that that's like a 5-second render. Like that will always blow like 2010 me's mind. Like, it's just so ridiculous. I remember sitting and waiting like so long for individual buckets to render. It just still blows my mind. Anyways, cool. All right. Oh yeah. Well, there we go. Save it, print it, ship it. Cool. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining and for being a part of the fun here. One time I had to do a render and I was on a road trip. Ooh, on a laptop or something. Ooh, yeah. Had my laptop hooked up in the car with an inverter for 3 days. Yes, classic. So I had one of the first generation MacBook Pros that went to the aluminum like unibody, and I had a question there. Can we get a day for cops? Yeah, we should do that. I've been starting to actually learn a little bit more cops, so yeah, certainly we should do that. But as a little side note, if you'd like to go to HoudiniHangout.com, get an invite link to the Discord server. There is a channel on there for suggestions for the stream. Cops would be a great suggestion, especially if you have something specific you'd like to play around with. We can give it a shot. Yeah, so go ahead, go grab the invite, check out the the Discord server. But yeah, I had one of the original unibody MacBooks, like from way, like again, 2008, 2009, when I started college. And I think I just ran it. I just ran so many renders on it over time. Apparently the glue wasn't very good in that generation. And so from it heating up so much from all my renders, it delaminated the glue from the back of the screen and started cracking my screen. It was a mess. It was such a, like, for a several $1,000 laptop, it was really annoying. But yeah. Oh, the solvers in it are really a mystery. Yeah, I've played around with those a little bit. They can be a little bit tricky, but yeah, maybe that would be a great thing. Yeah, throw some. Yeah, it was fun. It was a wild time. But yeah, throw a suggestion in the old Discord server. But that's where we're gonna end everything for this evening. I really appreciate everybody being here, for chatting, for enjoying my my stone candy bar that we made. And yeah, it was fun. And yeah, if you're doing Mardini, best of luck to you. Looking forward to the last few days of submissions and things like that. And yeah, should be good. May your renders go quickly, and your time spent on making setups be short. Great. Well, everybody, 4 more hours today. Yeah, exactly. Well, everybody have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I should see you all next week. Have a good one and talk to you then. Bye, everybody.